What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin in this video today. The price is sitting at about $56.8 thousand right now. It is the 10th of September, and we're a little over 2 hours underway on the new day here. So it is looking more and more like that. It is it is looking more and more like this is the low as time goes on, as we have more days kind of continue out of this phase here. I definitely do believe that we're moving up higher. I think if we take the overall high to low of this consolidation phase, the 786 to 886 zone is a nice kind of momentary target to have. I believe that we're on course to achieve these price areas, or this price area here, something between the 786 and the 886, which is between about 67.2K and 64, is that, yeah, 64.8K, somewhere in that zone, right? By the 18th of this month. That's kind of my expectation. Maybe even on the 18th of this month, but somewhere around there. That's kind of my expectation. And then we'll probably pull back perhaps to the 61869 zone. Perhaps we see a deeper pullback than that. That's possible too, but something that would ultimately generate yet another higher low, of which again we just formed a higher low there. And then just continue onwards and outwards, man. I do believe that we're moving up. I do believe that we're going to break out of this pattern. I just don't think that this next move right here is going to be what breaks us out. I would love to be wrong. I would love to see it just tear right through. But I think something more like this, which it doesn't look the prettiest right now, but something more that, you know, moves up first, pulls back, and then moves up later. I think that's what we have in store. So nothing really new to say in this video. Everything looks on course, on track for what I laid out in yesterday's video and basically the videos preceding, like, the past week, talking about the game plan for Bitcoin. Just waiting, man. Maybe not even the past week, that might not be fair to say, but the past few days, certainly since this low, right? We've been talking about the price moving up. It's no more downside, you guys. If you're expecting prices lower, and right now it's not the popular thing to say. A lot of people in the space, a lot of people on X, like X.com, not on ecstasy, like X.com, people in, you know, Discords, my own Discord, but other Discords too, and then just on YouTube. Even if you Google things, people are expecting prices to go below 50K, below, like, even down as low as 40K or lower. There's a lot of people calling for those numbers even now, even after yesterday. And it might sound crazy to those people. It might sound crazy to the majority of people. And in fact, if we go to the crypto fear and greed index, we're experiencing fear. We're actually at the highest levels as far as like a rating goes, like the lowest level of fear, right? A higher reading than we've seen in a while, but it's still fear in the readings there. But I very much do believe that we're done going lower. That's what I'm alluding to. That's I mean, I already said it, but I'm just saying it again, is I think we're done going lower. I think it doesn't make sense now to a lot of the people who are expecting price to go lower, because we've just been doing that for the past 6 months. But as time goes on, as we start moving up here, people will start to figure things out, man. As we start forming higher lows throughout this whole range, and things are different, right? We're no longer following this trend. We're starting something new. I think it's gonna catch on. But again, perhaps not this next move up. I think we'll probably sell off. The people who are bearish to 40K or lower are going to feel vindicated, because it'll be just another lower high, but then we'll get yet again another higher low. And I think not this next move up, not the move up that we're experiencing now, but the move afterwards, going into the end of the year, would probably be what sends us above $100,000, I believe. Breaks us out of this whole 6-month consolidation phase and sends us up way higher. So it's time right now, you guys. It's really time right now. I think a good way to look at this, I'm going to end the video on this note right now. It's a great time to invest, obviously, in crypto, in Bitcoin, in whatever you want to do in the crypto space. Like, genuinely, I love this little, like, phase, right, or this little pattern. I don't know what to call it. This shape in the charts as far as a low area goes. If we are to move up and then move back down, I think as of right now, again, I think where we'll move down is it's likely going to be around this area that we're at now, or probably a little bit higher. So investing now, even though we're up from the low about, let's see, from the relative low that we just had, we're up less than 10%, so not even that much. But for altcoins, some coins went up 20% today, or 15% or more. You know, we're still relatively close to our low areas, right? I do believe that we're going to move up and then move back, but where we move back to might be higher than where we are now. If you don't invest now, if you're not getting in now and you're trying to get things figured out, don't chase, right? Don't don't chase when things are up high, especially don't chase if we're around the 18th of this month and we're about to have the Fed meeting come out, probably a sell the news event, right? We'll probably get good news in the sense that the interest rates are being cut. I think it would be good news. I think it'll be received as good news, but the charts might immediately drop because it's a big deal. Whether you want it to go up, whether you want it to stay stationary, whether you want the Fed rates to go down, whatever your stance is, whatever you want, whatever the outcome is, it's a highly anticipated moment because we are anticipating a shift in the direction of the Fed interest rates. I would expect that once it happens, it's going to be like anticlimactic and we sell off, right? That's kind of how it is most of the time. That's why buy the hype, sell the news is a thing. So if you don't get in at this point, if you don't have your money squared away at this point, and it's later in the month that you have your money, right? Maybe it's toward the end of the month. Just be patient. I would assume sometime next month, probably early next month in October, we will have a little bit of a pullback that will give you cheaper than relative prices. Maybe not relative to now, but relative to where this next high will be. And that might be the next low that sends us that allows us to break out of this range all in all. So we still have time. That's the whole reason I'm going over this like last part of the video. This is why I want to end it on, is we still have time to invest. And I think if you play it wisely, if you imagine this to be like the kind of road ahead that we have, and you try to put it in now, or if you can't, you have to wait till later. Maybe don't try not to catch the height of this move, but the higher low of this overall move that's going to break us out of this. I think you can be set up in a good place for the coming moves ahead. But tomato, wherever you buy, man, over the next like month or so, it's probably going to pay off very well across the board for crypto. It's go time, you guys. It really is go time. And I think going back to that idea that I was saying, I think as time goes on, it's going to be more and more apparent that this is the low. The people who are expecting lower prices, they're gonna capitulate. They're going to start to see the upside. Especially, I mean, it's going to be undeniable that we're not going to 40K once we take out these lower highs. It's, in my opinion, it would be undeniable. It'll truly be undeniable. You've got your head in the ground or up your ass or something, somewhere. If you're denying it and we're above all-time highs, right? It doesn't take much to get us up there. And then we've got a long ways to go, man. The beauty of this right now is that this market is super forgiving. It's very, very forgiving, right? If you're a bear right now and unless you're short selling, right? If you're a margin trader, no market's going to be kind to you, right? Especially if you have no experience, right? Or your only experience is downside is losing money. But if you're a bear and you're sitting on the sidelines right now and you want to put money in the markets and you're hearing me and you're like, I wish you were right, but I think it's going down, whatever. Even if you mess it up, right? Even if you don't get in and it goes all the way up, and let's say I'm right and it goes all the way up, and this next move, right, is going to send us up and out of here. We're going to break out. You might miss relative to Bitcoin 23%. Before you close above this daily high, right? Before you get above that high to like form a higher high, you might miss 23%. At the all-time high right now, that's 30%. You might miss 30%, right? I would assume that anybody who's bearish right now, if we were at new all-time highs, you'd probably at that point be forced to not be bearish. This is where I'm going with this, right? And that's just 30% away. Where we're going to go from the all-time high, not from the current price, but from the all-time high, I believe we are like at a minimum going to see 120,000. Right, so you can miss 30%. This is what I mean by it's a very forgiving market. You can miss on this 30% going up to the all-time high before you're truly validated in the sense, right? Like you might be stubborn, you might be a bear this whole way up, and then finally you see the light once we're at new all-time highs technically, right? You might think, no, we're going to 40K, have your doubts, and you could miss out on this opportunity, but there's still opportunity afterwards, right? Still more opportunity afterwards than what you would miss here. Of course, if you got in here and it ends up going to 120K at a minimum like I'm expecting, 111% versus 62%, that's a huge difference. Of course it is. But 120K at a minimum, we could go up to 170K by the end of this next move, and I think it's going to be by the end of this year, if not going into early next year. So all that to say, being that we're at 56.7K right now, it's a great time to invest in Bitcoin. It's a great time to invest in various cryptos. Overall, for this range, for what it's worth, we're absolutely on the lower ends of it, right? From a high to a low standpoint, we're at the lower end. So it's a great time to get in. And I think if you don't have money set up right now, if things aren't timed right for you, you're going to have funds available maybe, let's say in like a little over a week from now, right? I think if you're patient, if you wait till like the beginning of next month, you'll have an opportunity to buy at lower prices too. Because I think a little over a week from now, like about a week from now exactly, we're going to be at significantly higher prices. We're at 56.7. We could genuinely be like 10K or at least 6K, probably 7K higher in a week from now. That's kind of my expectation. But anyways, guys, I'm talking at this point. I'm rambling on. Even if you mess it up, it's a very forgiving market. We're under very forgiving circumstances. I was only talking about I was only talking about to 120K, right, as the minimum target. That's kind of my minimum expectation for this. But it could go to 170K. That's just for this next move, for the cycle ending. Like, we've got a lot more to go than that. So even if you mess it up, even if you're just worried about this next move, we've got more to go after that too, right? So even if you mess it up, man, what I mean by it's very forgiving is you could buy literally at new all-time highs and you would still be killing the game if you sold at the right times, right? So no pressure, man. Really no pressure at all. No pressure at all. But I do think that on that note, there's a little bit of pressure, I suppose, actually, to buy now before things really get going, right? Like this is that small window, and it's closing, man. This window is closing. It's going to continue to close day by day by day. Maybe today's a red day, and we get a slight pause in that window. But as the week goes on, man, we're going to continue to move up. So I believe if you want to buy any crypto while Bitcoin is below 60,000, Bitcoin included, that window is closing. It's your opportunity now. Seize the day, seize the carp, whatever it is that you need to do, and have a merry time throughout the rest of the year, man. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. This video went on way longer than I meant for it to, but I don't know. I had fun. Take it easy, guys. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more. I appreciate you all for being here. Thank you very much.